There comes a moment in adulthood when the habits you once believed were simply part of your personality begin to reveal where they came from. Your reactions, your boundaries, your relationships, your confidence, your fears. So many of these patterns are inherited rather than consciously chosen. They were shaped long before you had the language to understand what was happening. This video is not about blaming your parents, nor is it about idealizing them. It is a test, one that reveals the emotional reality of your upbringing by examining 8 fundamental principles of good parenting. These principles do not describe perfection. They describe what human children actually need in order to grow into adults who trust themselves and feel relatively safe in the world. As you listen, the question is simple. Were these things present for you, or were they not? Your answers will begin to sketch a clear picture of your childhood, one that may confirm what you have always sensed or uncover truths you have never fully articulated. And once seen clearly, these truths can be understood and, when necessary, healed. Let's begin. 1. Entering the child's world. A good parent does not treat a child's inner experience as an inconvenience. They understand that children do not yet possess emotional regulation, cognitive structure, or adult perspective. Instead of pulling the child upward into the adult world, the parent adjusts downward. They kneel to eye level, soften their tone, and regulate their reactions so the child does not feel overwhelmed. This creates a sense of safety. The child learns that their experience matters and that the world is not fundamentally against them. When a parent adapts in this way, curiosity develops naturally rather than defensively. When they do not, children are expected to provide emotional control they are not capable of yet. Confusion is treated as disrespect. Emotional overwhelm is labeled misbehavior. Adults raised this way often feel compelled to remain constantly composed and capable, while experiencing anxiety around expressing need or uncertainty. 2. Respecting small emotions. In childhood, emotions arrive at full intensity. A broken object can feel devastating. A small success can feel extraordinary. A good parent does not mock or dismiss these reactions. They recognize that emotional development begins with small experiences. By taking a child's feelings seriously, they teach that emotions are meaningful signals rather than weaknesses. Over time, this builds emotional literacy. When parents minimize or ridicule emotions, the child learns that emotional expression is unsafe. As adults, they may downplay pain, apologize for vulnerability, hide joy, or struggle to identify what they feel at all. 3. Interpreting behavior with empathy. Children do not misbehave with adult intent. Disruptive behavior most often reflects fatigue, overstimulation, fear, or unmet needs. A good parent responds by looking beneath the behavior rather than reacting only to the surface. Discipline becomes guidance instead of punishment. The child learns that mistakes are part of learning, not proof of being bad. Parents who fail here often apply labels: difficult, dramatic, irresponsible, selfish. These labels become internal narratives. Adults raised this way often struggle with excessive guilt, perfectionism, or harsh self-judgment after minor errors. 4. Allowing healthy oddness. Children naturally experiment with identity. They repeat rituals, adopt unusual interests, invent imaginary worlds, and move through phases that appear strange to adults. A good parent recognizes this as exploration, not dysfunction. They allow space for experimentation without immediate correction. This teaches the child that becoming oneself is a process, not a performance, and that creativity does not need to be hidden. Parents who suppress this behavior often do so out of fear of embarrassment or loss of control, forcing children into fixed roles early. Adults raised this way often feel disconnected from their authentic selves and hesitant to change direction in life. 5. Accepting dependence. Dependence in childhood is not weakness. It is developmental necessity. Seeking comfort, reassurance, or help signals trust. A good parent responds with availability rather than irritation, reinforcing emotional security. Over time, this secure base allows genuine independence to form. Parents who reject dependence often push children toward premature self-sufficiency, framing emotional needs as burdens. Adults raised this way may appear capable and responsible while feeling deeply uncomfortable relying on others, longing for connection yet fearing it. 6. Showing humanity without losing authority. A good parent does not perform perfection. They allow children to witness ordinary mistakes, emotional repair, and mild vulnerability. This teaches that imperfection is survivable and that failure is not catastrophic. Parents who present themselves as flawless, emotionally rigid, or infallible create constant pressure. Adults raised in these environments often become chronic overachievers or severe self-critics, believing there is no room for error or softness. A good parent maintains authority while remaining human. 7. Providing emotional predictability. Children do not require constant stimulation. They require consistency. A good parent creates an environment where emotional responses are generally stable and boundaries are clear. The child's nervous system relaxes. Predictability becomes the blueprint for safety carried into adulthood. When predictability is absent, children become highly sensitive to shifts in mood, tone, and expression. This hypervigilance often persists into adulthood as anxiety, emotional tension, or difficulty relaxing even in safe environments. 8. Loving without demanding a return. A good parent provides care without expecting emotional repayment. Children are not used as therapists, confidants, or sources of validation. Love flows in one direction. When this boundary is violated, caregiving roles reverse. The child becomes responsible for managing the parent's emotional state. This teaches that love must be earned through caretaking or self-sacrifice. Adults raised this way often struggle with boundaries, feel responsible for others' emotions, and have difficulty expressing needs. These 8 principles form the core of the test. No childhood includes all of them perfectly, but the more that we're missing, the more present-day struggles often begin to make sense. Recognizing this is not an act of betrayal, it is an act of clarity, and clarity reduces the influence of patterns formed without consent. Now reflect honestly. Were these conditions present in your upbringing, or were they largely absent? Share what you noticed. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.